This is a lesson on finding the equation of a line in slope y-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b, if you're given the slope and a point on the line. So as an example, we're going to try and find an equation that has slope 3 and passes through the point -2, -5. And when it says express your answer in slope y-intercept form, that means that we want the answer in y equals mx plus b form. So we have to figure out what we're given. And the first thing in here we're given is the slope equals 3. So that means in y equals mx plus b that m is equal to 3. We're also given a point in a line, and the information that we can get out of this point is the first number, -2, represents the x-coordinate, an x-coordinate of a point on the line, and the second number is -5, and that represents a y-coordinate on the line. So we know that y equals -5 and x equals -2 from this point. So the only thing that we need for y equals mx plus b is the y-intercept, or b. So we're going to use the formula y equals mx plus b, and that's our slope y-intercept form once again, y equals mx plus b. And we're just going to substitute the values that we're given into this equation. So when we do that, we sub in for y, -5, for m, it's 3, and for x, -2. So these are where the numbers are coming from. And of course, we don't know what b is. That's what we're trying to find out. So next we solve for b. So we simplify where we can, and 3 times -2 is -6. Now to isolate b on one side of the equation, we have to add 6 to both sides of the equation. And when we do that, we end up with -6 plus 6 on this side simplifies to be 0 plus b. And on this side, we have -5 plus 6, which simplifies to be 1. So that means now we have our slope and our y-intercept. So we know that the equation, when we sub in the values into y equals mx plus b, the m and the b value, we're going to end up with y equals 3x plus 1. And so this is the equation of the line that passes through the point -2, -5 with slope 3. And now we'll take a look at what this looks like on a graph. Now on the graph, we're going to graph the line that passes through the point -2, -5 with a slope of 3. And we're going to compare that to the answer we just got, which was y equals 3x plus 1. And when we go over to -2 and down to -5 and make our point, we're going to go from this point through this point with a slope of 3, which means the slope of 3 over 1. And if you recall, 3 over 1 is rise of 3 and a run of 1. And we can make our next point. And we can keep doing this. And so now we have our y-intercept. And we'll just put in a few more points just for the sake of actually being more accurate. And so now what we're going to do is draw a line through these points. And as we said before, the slope is 3 and the y-intercept is 1. So that means the equation of this line is y equals 3x plus 1. So let's take a look at another example of this kind. And we're going to graph a line with slope 5/3, or 5 over 3, that passes through the point -9, -11. And so just as before, we're going to identify what we're given. And the first thing we're given is slope. So that, again, is our m. So our m is 5 over 3. And from our ordered pair, we know that the y is -11. Remember that y is the second coordinate, and that x is -9. X is the first coordinate in alphabetical order. So let's take a look at what we require. And for y equals mx plus b, the first thing we're going to need is the y-intercept. That's the only variable we're missing in the y equals mx plus b. So our formula, again, y equals mx plus b, and we're going to sub in, just as we did before, and y is -11, m is 5 over 3, x is -9, and b is unknown. So we just sub in and put brackets around the -9, and this is a multiplication. So now what we have to do is simplify and solve for b. So -9 and 3 have a common factor. 3 goes into -9, -3 times. So this simplifies to be 5 times negative 3. So we can write this now as negative 11 minus 15 equals negative 15 plus b, because 5/3 times 9 is negative 15. So next, we're going to add 15 to both sides because we want to isolate b, so we need to get rid of the negative 15. So we're going to add 15, and we have to add 15 to the other side as well. So we end up with b is equal to negative 11 plus 15 is 4. So now we sub our values of m and b into y equals mx plus b. M is 5/3. Our b is 4. So the equation of our line is y equals 5/3x plus 4. So let's take a look at what this looks like on a graph. And we're going to start off with our point, which is negative 9, negative 11. So we're going over to negative 9 and down to negative 11. And we're going to put a point at that place. And we're going to, from this point, draw a line with slope 5/3. So that means the rise is 5, the run is 3. So we're going to go from this point up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 if I can count right, and over to 3, over 3. So we put a point there, and up 5, and over 3, and put a point. And up 5, and over 3. And we keep doing this, so up 5, and over 3. And so now what we're going to do now is draw our line. And now you can easily see that we have a line with slope 5/3, and it crosses the y-axis at positive 4. So that means our equation of a line is y equals 5/3x, which is this 5/3 is the slope, 5/3x plus 4.